What's up, everyone, and welcome back to We Don't Know Toots, the podcast for two dudes that don't know anything about music talk about music. I'm your host, Steven Schultz, and joining me today is my co-host, Rob Schultz. That's right, brothers, talking about music, talking about Toots. Rob, how's it going?
Oh, dude, it's going, well, better for me than it is for you, apparently.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm getting over something. I don't know what it is, but it's wrecking me,
It
so
is for
might hear
sure
some
COVID.
sniffles.
For
No.
sure. It's either COVID or cancer. There's no in between.
Hopefully it's cancer. COVID's far too contagious. But you might hear some sniffles and you might hear some coughs, but I'll do my best to keep those at
May
bay.
hear some yucky sounds coming through the microphone tonight.
Yeah.
And
we'll keep that under control.
I am not fluent enough with our editing software to get all that stuff out. So,
Yeah. So, and speaking of bad sounds, Logic. No, I'm just kidding, Rob.
whoa,
I know you're a big
hold
old.
up.
I know you're a big old Logic boy.
Spoiler alert,
But
we're talking about Logic today. I wanted to leave that for the end. Because
all right.
I thought that'd be the, real hot cheese of the episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, so start on something else then, man. Let's get started on. Let's talk about Skrillex. I know last episode we mentioned it, but didn't realize that he had released two albums basically back to back.
Yeah.
So
I realized he released one. I didn't realize he had released two. One day
yeah.
after the
So
we talked about it at the end
how
of
did
this.
you feel about Quest for Fire, that album?
I liked it. I don't know which one's my favorite. Honestly, I think the other one, Don't Get Too Close, is my favorite. So for those who don't know, Skrillex
Same.
A couple weeks ago released one album, Quest for Fire, on the 17th, and then he released Don't Get Too Close on the 18th. So one day after another. And I like them both a lot, but I think Don't Get Too Close is my favorite. Because
Yeah, Don't Get Too Close was my favorite, definitely too.
especially because they both have, they have, Quest for Fire opens with Leave Me Like This, and Don't Get Too Close opens with Don't Leave Me Like This, and they're both just kind of like ambient tracks. They aren't really songs that intro the album. And then the very first song after that, so the second song on Quest for Fire, is Ratata, and I don't know, that was kind of an annoying song for
That
me.
was okay. Yeah, I was super annoyed at that song too.
And I know people really like Missy Elliott, but I don't know, man. I was not feeling that song at all, and that kind of killed my buzz for the whole rest of the album. But the album did save itself, I feel like.
How you talked about Leave Me Like This is just an ambient kind of track. That's kind of the vibe I got from a lot of this whole album.
Well, yeah,
It gave me more of like a video game soundtrack kind
That's
of,
true,
or
man.
like a something to study to kind of thing, honestly.
I get that. So I've been building a playlist at work because a lot of my work is just like me working by myself with my hands, doing like tiny little wire work with my hands. So I just like have like this whole playlist of like chill, like mostly just chill EDM and chill like hip hop and rap to listen to. So it's not something that I'm like trying to turn up to or rock out to or anything like that. And I've added a couple of songs off both these albums to that playlist.
Yeah.
For that exact reason. Kind of like something to study to.
Yeah, it's which is fine. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's just not stuff that I'm not gonna listen to when I'm on a road trip or I'm driving to work or something, like something where I want to actually
That's fair.
listen to music. I mean, it's I.
I mean, it's more than I mean, this is kind of the like the EDM that I've been into recently. Like obviously I got into Skrillex during the Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites era, when it was like all that Transformers having sex, wub wub wub, like headbanging EDM, dubstep stuff.
Yeah.
But like this is the kind of, like, if I listen to EDM nowadays, this is kind of what I'm looking for, is this kind of music. So I'm feeling both these albums.
Yeah, that's kind of like I knew I couldn't expect that same exact music sound from Skrillex,
Right.
but it was just so totally different. Like from the Skrillex that I knew when I was but a boy.
Yeah, but he's kind of been trending that direction too. Like I don't know
Yeah,
how much you've kept up with him, like his like especially like his collab with Diplo back in a couple years ago. I mean, that was back when I was in like college, I think. That Jack U
yeah,
album.
yeah,
I like that. Recess was kind of that way too, the little Alien album, but
yeah,
so he's
yeah,
kind of been trending that way. He definitely hasn't been doing like the heavy dubstep stuff for a long time.
yeah. I get that. It still though, a boy can dream.
I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not mad at it because I did like a lot of them. Did you have like a favorite song off of Quest for Fire?
Honestly, like on both, I couldn't pick one for sure because I went through them a couple times, but I gotta be honest, my overall opinion of both albums were just kind of like, yeah, but none I added to any playlist. Like I didn't enjoy any of them enough for that.
All right. You didn't.
So
Well, I remember because we talked about the one song at the end of our last episode. It was Supersonic.
yeah,
I'd say that one's my favorite off the album. Like we talk about not having like the turn up headbanging Skrillex, but that's about as close as we get with this album, I feel like.
yeah. I remember you telling me to listen to that one. That one was fine, but
And the last song
I
on
don't
that
know.
album, Still Here with the Ones I Came With. I like I saw that before it like started playing and I saw that it had Porter Robinson on it. I was like super stoked because I really like Porter Robinson too. And that was also pretty underwhelming. So it started off underwhelming, kind of like peaked in the middle and dropped off again, unfortunately. Which I think
Oh,
is why I liked the other one better.
you're more into this world than I am, so
I know a
I
little
don't
more.
recognize like any of
I
these
chew a little bit
names.
better out here than you do.
Yeah, you dub Toot better than I do,
I
but
tube step.
I don't recognize like any of these names that he's with at all.
Oh, you would know Porter Robinson if I played it. I'm sure I've added him to the group playlist before. At least
Sure.
I can think of at least two of his songs that I've definitely added.
Yeah,
So you'd probably
maybe.
recognize it if I played it for you.
I couldn't say half the bands in that playlist though because of how many
Well,
songs are in there.
That's a playlist several years in the making. It's pretty well diluted at this point. But
Yeah.
as for Don't Get Too Close, I think that was my favorite of the two albums. It was tight, but I think
Yeah.
this is my favorite. Like I liked a lot of songs off this one. I don't know about you.
There, I'm trying to remember. There's one I did like. It Mixed Signals. I didn't hate that one actually. I thought it was pretty catchy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I do recognize a few people that were on this album, but
He made it for
everyone
the
would
more
recognize
mainstream, basic fans like you.
like me,
He
the
thought, there's people out
non-tutor,
here who don't really know Toots. Let's give them some Toots they know.
like Steven.
But yeah, I liked a lot of songs. I liked Way Back. I liked Selecta. I'm just scrolling through. I'm trying to remember which ones I liked. I was kind of
Yeah,
disappointed. I saw Kid Cudi on there, and I was really hoping that was going to be a good song. That was one of my least favorite songs on the album. But I really like Kid
if,
Cudi, so I was hoping that would be a banger,
yeah.
but not so
I'll be
much.
honest. I didn't realize that the first song of this album was "Don't Leave Me Like This," and the first one was "Leave Me Like This" until you said something. So I kind of want to listen to those two songs again and see did they have anything to do with
Uh,
each other.
uh, I don't know. Honestly, like I noticed that they were named the same. I guess I never played them one right after another to find out. I just know they were
Yeah,
both kind of
kind of.
slow, chill. I know Don't Leave Me Like This. It was a little more upbeat because I had the guy on it, but
Yeah,
um, but yeah, I liked a lot of songs on this one. Bad for Me, 3 a.m. I think might have been my favorite one on this album. But Mixed Signals, I was surprised you liked that one. That was a little too nothing for me. I don't know.
maybe I'm thinking of a different one too. To be totally honest, but
Well,
guess I should have taken better notes on the names of the songs. I just kind of was listening to them, getting a feel for the overall vibe of the album.
fair
I
enough.
guess, which isn't the best way to do it.
Well, you don't want to
'Cause,
come in
there's
here knowing too many Toots, you know?
yeah, that's true. If I start getting too educated in the world of Toots, then this podcast is going to lose all credibility.
Yeah, that'd be pretty embarrassing for us.
We're going to be too educated for the snitches.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue. So you agree that Don't Get Too Close would probably be your favorite album?
Yeah, it had more songs that I could actually kind of more JMT. Like, it still definitely had more of a, like, especially like we said, compared to the really old stuff, definitely had more of a chill vibe. But I just kind of felt the Quest for Fire album was really like, laid back, chill, slower beats that you just study to. This one, like, I was listening to it, and I'm like, I feel like if I was studying to this, I might get a little too motivated to get moving.
I want to be clear. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like the chill Skrillex. Like, I think he did a good job on both albums, and like, it's not like I'm expecting him to drop in Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites Part 2, but like,
yeah,
of the two, I would definitely pick Don't Get Too Close.
Yeah, me too. And I like the cover art of it.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
Bloody porcupine.
Yeah.
Well, you might not be the right person to ask for this, but if we were to pick, let's say, Don't Get Too Close, the Jack U album, Recess, and Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites, you had to pick the best Skrillex album, what would it be?
Out of which ones?
The four main ones, I guess. Don't Get Too Close. The one with him and Diplo, the Jack U one with the little yellow smiley face. Recess with the little alien head, and Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites, like the iconic Skrillex.
It would be the Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites one.
Yeah, I figured.
It'd have to be that.
I figured. That's just.
is that even like
that's
part of an album? Or
that's the name of the album. Well, looking at it, I guess it's an EP.
Yeah, but I know there were like a bunch of those kind of songs that were all up together. Mm-hmm. Those ones.
Yeah. Oh, and the Bangarang EP, I guess, is also. I forgot about the Bangarang because Bangarang, Dude, did you see it started going viral a couple of days ago, where the I might not actually, now that I think about it, it wasn't Bangarang, but that sample he took where it's the girl screaming, "Oh my god!" Whoop, whoop. You know that part?
Yeah.
Apparently, like someone found where he sampled that from. Some girl doing some like high speed cup stacking. Did you see this going viral?
Yeah, I did see that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that pulled something out of the depths of my brain.
That's
right there.
Hilarious.
Man, what song was that on? I thought it was Bangarang, but it definitely wasn't Bangarang.
No.
I think it might have been. Well, it was definitely on the Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites EP. Oh, man.
That's what I was going to say.
Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites. It might have been Kill Everybody. One of the Kill Everybody songs.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, anyways. So then we'll throw Bangarang in the mix. So Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites, or Bangarang, or Recess, or Jack U, or Don't Get Too Close. Which one would you did say Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites, so you would still pick that over Bangarang?
Yeah, because I wasn't thinking of the Bangarang EP when I thought of this, so I think I'd probably switch it to Bangarang, honestly, now.
Yeah, looking at Bangarang, there's a lot of good songs on there. A lot of good songs. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, dang, I don't know. I'd have to listen to it again to find which song that sample was in, but it's gonna bug me. Yeah, there's a lot of good songs on Bangarang. I might be tempted to pick Bangarang too. But I've really actually like really enjoyed everything he's ever put out. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to come around on the Jack U album, but I do like it.
Here's the thing, Bangarang came out And I started listening to it back when, like, you know how scientists say when you're like 13, 14, 15, that's when like the music you're listening to then is going to be like your lifetime favorite music. That because
Is that what
it's going to
scientists
be
say?
like,
Because that definitely checks out.
yeah, it's like that's going to be music that you'll always like and stuff like that. It's going to be your all-time favorite music genre because that's what you first started listening to, and that's when you first started discovering your music tastes.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's
I
when
believe it.
that's when that came out. Like, I remember you showing me this
Yeah,
when I was that age, and I was like, oh yeah, and I'm cool, like, listening to this music.
because I remember unnamed pal from high school handing him an iPod and saying, "Put whatever you want on here," and
Yeah,
it was a
I
lot of
did
pop
that
punk
too.
and a lot of Skrillex,
Yeah,
and that was
yeah, I
it.
remember you just showing me all the Skrillex and
Like, did you
just
know there's
rocking out
music
to
in the world?
it. Yeah, so I think that's why, and I think that's gonna be the case with so many other albums. Like when like Fully Adu's my all time, you know, Fall Out Boy album.
Sure.
You know, I still listen to old all time love just because like can't I
You
can't
can't break
beat
it.
it.
You can't get away from it.
Yeah. So I think that's probably why it's my favorite. And I listened to that a lot more than I did the other albums, the other
Yeah.
actual full albums. So that's probably what I do. I used to listen to Recess a good amount,
Yeah.
but yeah. I don't know. What about you? Which one did you say one? I
I would
missed it
say,
if you did.
yeah, I said I might have to do bangering as well,
Okay,
just
that's right.
because, probably for the same reasons. But I'd probably put Jack U at the bottom, just for a personal preference. Not that I don't like it, but out of those five, I'd put Jack U and probably Recess at the bottom.
Mm.
And so I guess
Really?
that leaves the 2 and 3 spot open for Don't Get Too Close or Scary Monsters. And honestly, either one could go either way, I think.
Oh,
Because
I thought
Scary
you were leaving
Monsters,
two and threes. I thought you were leaving 2 and 3 open for Don't Get Too Close and Quest for Fire. I was like, what?
well, I mean, like, if we're just gonna ignore Quest for Fire, because that was the original question. Like, if we picked Don't Get Too Close over Quest for Fire, we're just gonna choose one of those to put in the
God.
top
Oh,
five.
okay. Okay.
So yeah, I would leave 2 and 3 open for Don't Get Too Close and Scary Monsters. Scary Monsters honestly might take it just for the nostalgia, but like I said, that's not really the kind of music I listen to anymore either.
Yeah,
But
I was going through and listening to
I
some
still
of it.
throw my neck out every time that drop on Scary Monsters comes in.
Yeah. Yep.
If
Always
you
like
if
swerving a
you
little bit on the highway when you start going
Oh
for it.
yeah. If you're listening to this podcast and you've never listened to Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites album by Skrillex, do yourself a favor and go turn us off for now. Go listen to it and then come back and tell us what you think, because it's an experience.
I feel like that's almost impossible though, because like that
Yeah,
was
that
like
really
that
dominated.
was
Like
so popular.
in our tiny private Christian school where we were like signing contracts that we wouldn't listen to music, we listened to that. So
Yeah,
like if we were listening
everyone.
to it, there's a good chance everyone was listening to it.
Yeah. Well, I just remember seeing stuff about it all the time. So
Yeah.
it was all over the place. Because I remember the first time I heard it, and I went to like you showed it to me like on Monday, which is when we had Boy Scouts, dude. And I went to Boy Scouts and was like, dude, this song that just came out. And the friend that I said to was like, I know, dude, I was listening to that today. So, I mean, it really was just everyone.
Yeah, man, that's so good. Such nostalgia. And
Yeah.
then, dude, when I was like, I don't know, 22 or 3, and I went and saw Skrillex in concert, that was like a religious
Oh, yeah.
experience, dude. Like,
Fulfilling your childhood dream.
I guess since me and you almost have exclusively gone to rock shows, like branching out and going to an EDM show every once in a while is like like a whole different experience. So like going to an EDM show and it being like someone that like shaped my music preferences, like it really kind of just like blew my mind. I just remember
Yeah.
having such a good time. It was so much fun. I also remember getting sunburnt, looking like a friggin' lobster when I came home, and then going to Monday Night Basketball and like getting slapped around on my completely red all over body. That sucked. But yeah,
Oh man,
I'd do it
good
again for
times.
Skrillex.
Nice. I'd go to a Skrillex show for sure.
Yeah.
Never been. I've really only been. I've been to a few non-rock shows and stuff, but rock shows are definitely what I would go to.
Oh,
the
they
most
take the
and
cake.
consistently go to.
They do take that cake.
Yeah, there's no trade off for being in a mosh pit.
Speaking of rock shows and
Rock
mosh
it
pit,
out.
Spotify reminded me today that Blink-182 and Turnstile are coming to Charlotte in July. Close enough to your
we wanna
birthday
get
for me.
bailed on?
Well, close enough for, well, if we, see, that's what I'm thinking is like, it's not Ohio, so they're not going to bail, right?
I don't know, dude. They bailed on
They bailed on
Bunbury
Ohio
twice.
4 times.
Yeah, but Bunbury's big enough, and they still bailed on Bunbury twice.
But it's Ohio. No one apparently cares. For the people who don't know, Steven and I have bought tickets how many times? 4.
4.
3
4
minimum.
times.
Yeah, 4 times to see Blink-182. Twice at a festival and 2 times at their own shows, their own headlining shows.
Yeah.
And they have canceled every single time. So he and I have kind of sworn off seeing them live because they kind of suck as an organization.
Yeah, it's the one time it was like we had tickets for the full weekend of Bunbury, and they canceled like 2 days before.
Mm-hmm.
And all the festival could do was just slide the Chainsmokers
they
up
just
into
scooted
their
everybody
spot. They didn't
open
replace it with anyone.
They just scooted everyone up a slot. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, so
even though
leave a bad taste.
Newfound Glory was there that night and could have performed. They could have, I mean, they wouldn't have probably headlined over like Chainsmokers, but they could have been there. Could have filled a slot. And I would have gone to that. But yeah, dude, I just remember like being in that Chainsmokers set where Blink-182 was supposed to be, and they played Closer, and that Halsey line came on where she was like, and play that Blink-182 song, and I was just like, I'm gonna complain a little bit, and I went boo, but then the entire crowd went boo.
Yeah, dude, like
I was
that's
oh
all.
yeah, that's right.
You couldn't hear it goes play that Blink-182 song that we played to death or beat to death in Tucson or whatever. You couldn't hear the beat to death in Tucson line because the entire crowd was booing them.
Yeah, we were seeing I remember seeing Blink-182 t-shirts. I remember seeing like a ton of Blink-182 tattoos.
Yeah, I saw tattoos.
Like people dedicated enough to Blink to get a tattoo, and they bailed on these people.
Yeah.
But that's Ohio. I'm saying come to Charlotte. They'll probably show up. Although Travis Barker apparently broke his thumb or something, so he just had surgery and he's recovering now. So by the time they get to Charlotte, maybe that won't be an excuse. I don't know.
I don't know.
But even if that's
11
an excuse,
hours is risky to get canceled.
Even if it's an excuse, there's still Turnstile.
That's true. Turnstile does put on a good show.
Turnstile's a blast. I've gotten into them even more since me and you saw them. And yeah, I would say I was into them
every now and then. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm willing to drive 10 hours with a 80% chance of getting canceled on. Just because it's me, not because Blink-182 cancels 80% of their shows, but they cancel 100% of the shows Steven's going to.
Yeah, that's true. We are 0 for 4 with Blink-182. And that last...
And the one time...
What?
The one time it was with Neck Deep was one of the people.
Uh-huh.
So Neck Deep was like, "Hey, we're doing our own little thing in this bar,
little meet and greet."
We're like, all right, cool. Like that'd be cool. Like maybe it'll be a tiny little show, and we'll get to meet Neck Deep and stuff like that. And we went there, and they just we went there, and all it was just their they just showed the music video for their unreleased song.
Yeah,
and we got to meet him, and that was it. I was like,
I'm still punching myself to this day because we went to that meet and greet without anything to sign, and I have a poster from when I saw State Champs and Neck Deep, and my girlfriend at the time bought us VIP meet and greet tickets to that show, So I have the signatures on that poster from state champs, but not they're all pictured on it. I have state champ signatures, but not Neck Deep's. And I went to that little meet and greet without that poster, and then I see everyone show up all these things to sign, and they're signing like posters and stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Blows my mind you didn't do that.
I'm the dumbest boy in the world, 100% guaranteed. Oh yeah, I'm still punching myself for that all these years later. I can't believe myself. And the fact that like Lil Wayne was headlining that with Blink-182 and Neck Deep, like he's just like, yeah, let me hop on this. Yeah, for some reason.
And then I think was it All Time Low was the other band?
I think it was All Time Low or All American Rejects, and we were gonna be seeing All American Rejects, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Right? Lil Wayne was so random.
Yeah, he did not fit that lineup at all. But I was like, I mean, like I'm not a huge Lil Wayne fan, but I'll definitely go see him in concert. Man. But yeah, Blink-182. Yeah. Mark Hoppus, I know you're listening right now, dude. Come to Charlotte. If you text me right now and tell me you're coming to Charlotte, I will definitely buy a ticket, and I'll make sure Steven shows up too.
Oh, wow, that's a bold statement. Wow.
Yeah, it's a bold statement considering how likely he is to text me. I know there's a good chance of that, so I'll get Steven there, Mark.
Risking it.
Don't you worry.
Old buddy, old pal.
Old friend. So he
owes us, man.
They all owe us, bro. This is like even now I'm still like, what if they do cancel on Charlotte? That would be my luck.
The amount we've spent on their tickets. Oh my gosh, wouldn't be surprising.
Well, all of that is in summation of Skrillex's new albums. All that Blink-182 and Lil Wayne.
Same thing.
That's all.
Skrillex, Blink-182, Lil Wayne, they're just all
basically
the
same kind of music. So let's move into a different type of music, something Lil Wayne's not really related to at all, and that's rap. And let's talk about Logic's new album. What'd you think?
So,
because I know you're a huge Logic fan, you're a big rap fan, so let's hear what you got to say.
So I mean I do like a lot of the Logic songs that you've thrown into the group playlist. I always listen to him. He's got a lot of really good songs. I just don't listen to him in general. But what annoyed this playlist annoying me so much because the end of every song it seemed like there was talk like a minute and a half of just talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there, I'm working and I'm listening to it and I'm like, are they just having a discussion about how he doesn't want to smoke because he's got a show in 40 minutes and then that's the whole discussion?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? Like, oh, it was
so
I don't know.
So, like, I mean, it's a concept album. So, like, concept albums kind of tell a story. They're kind of more of an experience with the music, which he's done before. Like, Incredible True Story was a concept album. But if the skits in Incredible True Story were attached to a song, they were really short. And then they would, and my thing, I don't want to talk out of pocket here. Let me double check. But like he does these things before where like he's done these albums before where there's like skits and there's talking. And Incredible True Story was definitely yeah. So Incredible True Story has skits, but they're broken off from the songs. And if they're in the songs, if there's talking in the songs, they're just kind of like a quick like 10-second blurb on the outro. But yeah, I've seen on Twitter there's a lot of people asking because this is Logic's first independent album. Like he just cut ties with Def Jam, so like this is his own self-produced album. And so people are asking him on Twitter like, yo, can you re-release this with like the skits separated? Because like we like the skits and I enjoyed listening through it the first time, kind of like told a story, but like I want to listen to the songs without like, and like really at the end of the day, like all I have to do is hit skip, so it's not a huge deal. But people are like, what if I want to like request this in the club or like at a party or something, and then like I make everyone listen to like a minute and a half of like someone standing at a gas station ordering snacks.
Yeah.
But
don't know. It's usually just when those songs come up. So one that's annoying too. I remember by. Why can't I remember that song, dude?
I
Or the
remember.
band, A Day to Remember.
I
I
remember
remember by A Day to Remember.
Okay.
They have a bunch of talking at the end of ours, and it drives me crazy because you like get super into the song,
Right.
and then it just like goes. I don't know. I mean, the album was good. It's just I was like, what the heck?
Exactly.
Am I listening to?
Because like I have all of the songs from Incredible True Story saved to my liked songs on Spotify, and I have none of the skits saved because I don't want to listen to the skits over and over again. Like if I want to like experience the whole like concept album as an experience, then I'll go and listen to it, which I almost never do. So like I don't want to listen to all the talking and the like, especially the one where they're in College Park here when they're going through the drive-through, and it's like the drive-through lady has like a silly voice, and it's like, well, I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah, that was really weird. And then the one, Self-Medication has Seth MacFarlane in it.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to talk about that. The best feature on the album. The best feature.
Yeah.
He has RZA.
That was so random.
He has freaking Joey Badass. He has all these awesome features on there. And then he freaking brought in Seth MacFarlane, dude.
Yeah.
A generational talent.
Yeah, that was so funny. I was just like, I don't know, just listening. And I'm like, what the heck?
And it's on the same track as Redman. And I was like, Redman's a big name in hip hop. And I noticed Seth MacFarlane before I noticed that. It's funny.
Yeah. Which one were your top plays? And the only one I really remember getting into, Cruising Through the Universe. I like
dude.
that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Very first track. It's kind of like sets up the whole ambient like experience of the whole album, but it also had like his raps and like it had the RZA on it, which was really cool. Like So like I'll be honest, I've never really been able to get into Wu-Tang all that much. Like I've tried on multiple occasions, and I'm even like watching the show on Hulu right now, and I'm really loving, like I'm super addicted to the show right now, but like I still can't get into Wu-Tang. I don't know what it is. But like every time I hear RZA or Method Man or someone like on their own or like on a feature or something, I really like them. So like RZA on this track, like I really liked his verse. And it was really cool because like at the end we were talking about how they have like the 10-second like blurbs of dialogue on the end of a track, and it's him and his buddy talking about the dream where RZA was on a track with Logic, and his buddy was like,
oh yeah,
you know it'd be crazy if you got the whole clan on a track. And he's like, yeah, right, man. But Logic's actually done that on like 2 or 3 albums ago. He had the whole Wu-Tang Clan on the track, which is
nice.
Again, a song that I really like because for whatever reason it's not Wu-Tang's song, for some reason it clicks in my brain. But it's like almost the whole clan. So like I really like that. Plus RZA's verse on that song on Cruising to the Universe went really hard. I really liked it. And it set up the whole album really nice. Like it just kind of gave you like that chill, like the whole album's about him like chilling out, driving around the neighborhood with his friends, getting ready to perform, and like picking up his friends, getting some drive-through, going to the gas station, getting some snacks. Like it just kind of set up like the whole chill vibe for the album, which is like my favorite version of Logic, is that old chill boom bap style.
Yeah, and I should take back. I wasn't like insanely aggravated that he had the talking bars, because I didn't even realize that's what it was doing, was like supposed to be taking you on, a journey with all the talking things. So I did like how like, oh, it's him just going to shows and getting ready and doing life.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was cool. It didn't really register that it was all supposed to go together though. I was kind of listening to each song, and then as soon as that song was done, I went into the next one. So I never really heard of those kind of concept albums before.
Yeah, he does them all the time. Almost all of his albums are like that, honestly. So like you might want to.
That's cool.
I mean, it's worth like. I was driving to Charlotte when I listened to it for the first time, because I was driving there the day it dropped. So like I had like an uninterrupted like 2 hours to just sit there and listen to an album. So it was definitely worth the enjoyment. But yeah, I really liked that first track. Like as soon as I heard it, it's like, oh yeah, dude, Logic is back, bro.
Nice.
I really liked Wake
What
Up.
else?
The very next song was really good. Lightsabers, I
Yeah.
really, really liked. I'd skip down. Like I honestly, like I mean, I liked all of them. I really liked Incipio, Self Medication. Obviously, Seth MacFarlane. Gotta love it.
Yep.
But but you were talking about that part where the skit where they were like smoking weed and like he like you how much you didn't like how much they were talking about it. And like yeah, agreed for the same reasons as we said, but like it also blended really nicely right into the next track. Cause like the talking ended with him taking a hit and exhaling, and the exhaling blended right into the start of the High Life song, which is all about smoking and like being high. Which like I mean, it's not my kind of music, and like it's not my scene anymore. But like, it still made a like High Life is still a really good song. It was one of the singles he released before the album, and I really liked it when he released it as a single. So like to hear that like transition from like the skit right into the song was really cool. I thought that was pretty smooth.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't even really. I didn't catch that either.
Yeah,
My
bro,
goodness.
you're missing the experience.
I'm so shallow.
You're such a surface level Logic fan.
Apparently, yeah, I just like his most boppable hits.
Apparently, man.
I don't know, man.
You could get into. I feel like he's the kind of music you could get into if you listened a couple times. And plus, like it's been like 2 weeks since he dropped this. Like I've been listening to it a lot. So like over 2 weeks, you could get into anybody if you made yourself. I feel like.
Yeah, it's when you first started really getting into him, and then you wanted me to go to a show with Logic, and I forget who else was there.
Joey Badass.
I want to say it was
one of the features.
G-Eazy.
It was Joey Badass. It was one of the features on this album, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, you wanted me to go to that show, and so I like was listening to his music, and that was a while ago. The one you asked me to. So I don't know.
That was during
maybe
his,
my music taste has changed.
Well, it was during his Everybody tour, which was like the really political album, which like there were still some good tracks on that, but it definitely wasn't a concert album. So
Yeah.
thankfully he did play a lot of his old tracks on there. On that show. Me and our other friend went to that. So like I still got to go. It was still a cool show. And I really didn't know Joey Badass like at all. Like I only knew him. I knew that he was opening up for Logic. I don't even think I tried to listen to him. I know a couple of his songs now, but like I probably should have given him the time of day back then because he's not half bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I also really liked the last song on this where like again it was a skit where he's like talking to his buddy about like, man, I really want to be more than just like some run of the mill everything sounds the same kind of rapper. Like he was like talking about how he wants to play acoustic guitar and all that, and then he started playing the guitar and rapped over it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah, I really liked this whole album. Like, this might be a top 5 Logic album for me.
One thing I did want to point out about the album, at least from my perspective, someone who I've listened to a good amount of Logic, but I don't listen to Logic, is the sound still sounded the same as his other stuff though. So
Well,
at least to me, I don't know.
Kind of like, yeah, that's kind of his style, but he's always had that like when he started like the Under Pressure album, yeah, that's kind of the same style of Logic, but I don't know, like all the Bobby Tarantino stuff was more like the trap, like the more popular kind of rap music, and then everybody was like more political theme, and it wasn't like dancey or like anything like that. Supermarket was like a soundtrack, so like that was like almost like a movie. I don't know. I think the No Pressure was kind of more trappy too. I don't know. He's got a couple different sounds, but yeah, I'd agree.
I'm just thinking more like, he isn't like totally changing like some, like Fall Out Boy did, totally changing that. Like he's still making good music that I feel like OG fans can still like and relate to.
Yeah,
so
well, that's the thing.
I did like that part.
I think he really hit home for the OGs too. Like, yeah, I think he just kind of leaned into and that was kind of what the whole album was about. Like going back to what he enjoyed, and like trying to just do what he does, chilling out like when he first started making music, and I think he did a really good job of that. I really, really like this album. Like I said, probably
Yeah.
top 5 for me.
Nice. I don't even know how many he's got, honestly.
Looking at it, dude, he's like let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we count Supermarket, 7, 8, 9. If we count the Young Sinatra tapes, 10, 11. That would be his 12th album. If we're counting, because the Young Sinatra collection was like his unreleased stuff, like before he was signed to anybody. That was just like his like demo mixtape basically, but he released it a couple years ago. And then the Supermarket was, like I said, he like, I guess I don't really know. I know he like wrote a book and it got turned into like a short film or something like that. So like he made a soundtrack to it.
Oh, nice.
I only know one song off of that is Can I Kick It? And it's basically like just the Tribe Called Quest song with his verses on it, but we'll still count it. But yeah, I guess 12 albums. But I don't know, man. Under Pressure is always going to be my favorite. I love Under Pressure. I have a big Under Pressure poster on my wall. I just really always like every song on Under Pressure.
Yeah, man. Wow. It looks like he's been coming out with an album a year since 2014. That's
yeah,
crazy.
and he was supposed to retire in 2020 with No Pressure. It was supposed to be like his like send off. Like if you listen to it, all he talks about is retiring, and that's what he was saying on Twitter and everything. He's like, "This is my last album," and then he released the Young Sinatra collection, and then released 3 more albums. Oh shoot, I didn't even count College Park, the one we're talking about. 13 albums.
Wow, named.
Yeah, he's been working, dude, and I ain't even mad at it. I guess he came out a while ago and said he hates like everything that he did on Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which kind of sucks because like I liked a lot of those songs, especially the song with Eminem. Everyone liked that song. But
I really think I know that album well enough to have any opinion on that, but I'll back him then. Yeah, boo.
I don't know. Like Logic's kind of like a I don't know. I know he doesn't get a lot of love in his own circles because people say he's, I don't know. I don't want to get into all that, but I know he doesn't get a lot of love in the actual like rap and hip hop scene, but I ride with Logic pretty hard, and I always will.
Yeah, I know.
Like even when he puts out, like I wasn't really into Bobby Tarantino 3. Like there was like 2 songs on there that I liked back in 21, but like almost everything outside of that, I like definitely like the other Bobby Tarantino albums. So I don't know. I got no guff against any of his music, honestly.
Nice. Well, got anything else you want to say about it, man?
I don't know. Logic. I know you and why did my brain suddenly just blank on the Blink-182 guy?
Mark Hoppus?
Yeah. I know Logic. I know you and Mark Hoppus are listening right now. I'll ride for both of you guys, so don't take this personally. I don't got
Blink,
anything bad to say about
music.
any of you guys, except for the
I have
canceling.
something bad to say about.
Well,
yeah,
I
I have something bad to say
about any of your music. We don't have anything bad to say about your Toots.
Yeah, and I know we say we don't know Toots, but we have listened to all of your Toots.
Yeah, there's a lot of Toots bouncing around up in this dome of mine.
All right, Rob. Before we head out, you got time for our last segment here. Recommend one new song for our listeners to listen to. What do you got for me?
So I've actually it's weird. I've kind of been getting into the White Stripes for some reason.
Really?
Like that's kind of just like been the rock that I've kind of been looking for, was that kind of like grungy punk sound that a lot of White Stripes has. Cause okay, the reason I'm kind of into it is because like every once in a while I'll go back and watch Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because it's just a great movie, And then I'm always like, nah, I want to listen to that album now. I want to listen to the soundtrack. So I'll go and listen to the soundtrack. And then whenever I find a song on Spotify that I like, is scratching that itch for me, like, have you ever like gone to a song and clicked go to song radio on Spotify? And like, so like I do that. So like, whatever song it was on that soundtrack, I clicked that, and then a White Stripes song came up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. So I go and listen to a lot of White Stripes, and I'm like, yeah, that's really good. So if I were to recommend one song right now, I would say "Fell in Love with a Girl" by the White Stripes is a song I've been listening to a lot.
Nice. Well, for
What about
me,
you?
I'm not really going through any sort of music phase or anything like that in particular. I'm kind of relying on random playlists and whatnot. But a song I found on it was probably my Discover Weekly, was called Supermassive Automatic by Kick the Robot. I never know when I'm listening to these songs that I haven't heard if it's like actually just a really common song everyone knows, because for some reason it felt familiar. But
I feel like I've heard that name before. I feel like maybe one of our friends put that in the group playlist.
I ended up putting it in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it was you. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I like that kind of pop punk or maybe just rockish. That's, people are like, get that little scratchy, almost yelly kind of voice where it's like,
Yeah.
That that's the kind of rock
voice
I
like
like.
Steven with a cold.
Yeah, exactly. Very sexy.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been listening to, I guess, is my Discover Weekly and looking for music like that. So go ahead and give those two a listen. You won't be disappointed.
Worth it.
Yeah.
They're so worth it.
So good. Well, all right. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks for sticking with me for being sick, and thanks for sticking with us while we talk about stuff we don't really know about.
The old Toots. Yeah, I'll try to clean up some of the coughing if I can, but like I said, every editing session is a learning experience for me, so we'll see what happens.
Everything's a new adventure.
That's what it's all about.
All right, I guess until next time, guys.
All right, y'all.
See you later. This has been the We Don't Know Toots podcast theme song.
Man. Theme song.